Good morning, everyone. We are in church, heading out. We got a busy day today. Gonna wait for some people to get on board. Exciting things going on. We got 3 people. I can't really see anyone that's on there, so if you're on there and I can't see you, I welcome you. I don't know why I can't see you, but better pay attention to my driving. Roxanne's on. Good morning, dear. Love you. So things are really starting to come together for the book. Later on Facebook, I'll be posting a few pictures. Punt, how are we? Of some samples for the cover. Kind of want to get everyone's opinions and see what you feel would be the best fit for it. Good morning. A couple more minutes. We got 2 people on. Dom's on. Roxanne's on. It's really all I need to be live. 2 biggest fans, so I'm good with that. So Angelo Petrucci, top of the morning, bud. I'm glad to have you on. And so today's video, the title of it is, again, anyone that's jumping on that hasn't been on the lives, good morning, True Chow, is that, I'm going to be covering a chapter a day, until we're out of chapters. And then, obviously, be promoting when it actually will go live. I'll give you some information on how to get on there, how to buy the book. It's going to be on Amazon. But today's chapter is chapter 2, and that's Rhyme and Reason. And so again, for anyone that's used to the motivational messages, hopefully in each chapter you'll be able to find something that you can relate to. That's the whole idea and premise behind the book, is that music it touches all of us, no matter how different we are, no matter what color, what religion. We all can relate to music. We all have an affinity and a love for music. And for me, it helped me get through, and as you'll find out in the book, some tough times, personally. So chapter 2's Rhyme and Reason. That's a song by Dave Matthews Band, who they actually have 3 songs in 3 chapters throughout the book. Because of the messages just spoke to me, and Dave's always been a big fan of. I've always been a big fan of Dave Matthews and his work from my early days in college. But Rhyme and Reason talks about just being in a dark place. It talks about not being able to take that pain away. And for anyone that's ever struggled with either depression or just not feeling yourself, just feeling like life has beat you up, just feeling like life has kicked you. Enrique, how are you? Feeling like life has really beat you down. And for me, and I did a lot of my own beating down. I've done a lot of things to beat myself down over the years, and what happens then is then we get on ourselves. And sometimes when you fail and make a lot of mistakes, it's easy to get caught up. And I was speaking with a friend of mine who had also battled depression, and the one thing that anyone that has never felt depressed or been in a funk or been depressed is that unless you've been in that state of mind, you can't necessarily relate to it, because people would often ask, well, why would you do these things, or anyone that's taken their own lives, and why do these people, it's not something that you choose to do. And no matter how good, there's people that are very wealthy that take their own lives or battle through depression, and we can think ourselves into a depression. It's very easy to do, especially in today's day and age. And when you consistently, people that fail or make mistakes, or you're constantly getting in trouble, you're not living up to your expectations, it's easy to fall into those ruts. And for me, I was in a dark place, and that's what chapter 2 is about. It's about being in a dark place, being in a place where I knew I didn't want to be, but I couldn't get myself out of. I couldn't get myself and pull myself away from the things that were bringing me down, and it was myself that was bringing me down. But in there he talks about being in a dark place and with nowhere to go, and wanting to take the pain away. And a lot of times, anyone that's in a depressed state of mind, or that's in, or has, suicidal thoughts, or just a feeling of unworthiness, that's all we want, is that pain to go away. And in the song, Dave Matthews also talks about, being 6 feet underground. And for a lot of folks, I mean, that seems like the only way out. And I know for those of you that have never had that feeling, it's often, well, that's a selfish way to think. And anyone that's had those thoughts, they're not necessarily feeling selfish. They're not like, oh, I want to do this, because it's the easy way out. They just don't know another way. And that's the hope, and that anyone that might read this book and go through this chapter, and they might be able to say that, I've been there, and I've been in a state where I've had that same feeling. I felt like there's nowhere to go, nowhere to turn, or I'm sick and tired of feeling a certain way. And for some of the folks that are on there, you might have lost someone. And as I'll talk about in chapter 3, when people do finally get to the end and they're not able to take that pain away, what is the alternative? What happens then? And that's the whole premise behind the book, is maybe somebody will read it, be able to relate. But as Dave Matthews says in his song, his head aches. And that's what happened. Our mind aches, our head aches, our body hurts, and we just don't know how to pull ourselves out of it. And sometimes you get so deep and you get such a dark place that there just doesn't seem to be any light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So, how did I get through it? And that's what the book's about. I got through it through using by using music. That was my outlet. That was my way to get myself out of that feeling and that state of mind and that frame of mind. And I used music to, and again, for me, when I was listening to all these songs, I had gone through, what for me was just, one of my rock bottoms. And everyone's rock bottom is different. So I was in a reflective state for, probably hear me say this in every chapter, because that's, you have to be in a reflective state of mind. You have to do some introspection in order to get to the place where I got to, I think, in order to get yourself out of any rut. And I felt like every song that is on this playlist, like they were speaking directly to me, like the words were written for me. And I think a lot of us can relate, like when you hear a song and you're going through something that you can say, oh man, this is my life right now. And that's what the book's about. That's what my playlist was about, amongst other things. And then it was using, this song, this Rhyme or Reason song that I could relate to, and saying, I don't want to be in this place. And it helped me just realize that, what the alternative is, and if I didn't start looking for a way out, that there wouldn't be a way out, or the way out that I might have gone toward would do no one any good. So, if you know anyone that's in a dark place, that's in a bad spot, what can we do to get them out, and how can we help them get out? For me, it was music. It was finding everything I loved about music. So today's chapter 2, Rhyme and Reason, again by Dave Matthews. That's and as I go through the book and as I go through my playlist, it's going from one spot and kind of it takes me on this journey toward actualization, toward self-awareness, toward finding out my playlist, figuring out my playlist, finding my purpose. And for me, it was a journey that I went on, and chapter 2 was about realizing the state that I was in, the state of mind that I was in, the frame of mind that I was in. And then I start asking the question. So you'll see in chapter 3 what I was actually, who I was asking for. Absolutely, hashtag Angelo, thanks for throwing that on. Spud's campaign, that was, a lot of people might say, I wasn't, our friend Jay, who lost his life to suicide, I wasn't his best friend. But for me, you'll see in chapter 3 the reality behind it and why I got so involved in the Spuds campaign and wanting to make a difference, and more than in somebody else's life, because there's going to be somebody else going through maybe what I went through, and maybe there's somebody going through is worse off than the situation that I was in, because that's what kept me from writing the book to begin with as well. There's so many people that have it worse, but to quote my father, there will always be somebody that has it worse, and there'll always be somebody that has it better. But that doesn't mean that our stories can't help somebody out. And that's the premise behind the book. And that is, anyone that's got a story, anyone that's got something to say, just say it. Don't be afraid of what everyone else is going to think. Go and Morning Deans. Just go and do it. Life's too short. So, again, in chapter 3, we'll get into a little bit more. I'll definitely be throwing some shout outs to the Spuds campaign and trying to raise the awareness for that. So guys, if you've been through anything, try and, if you can relate to the song, if you haven't never heard Rhyme or Reason and you're in a bad spot, I recommend you listen to it, because it helped me figure out, okay, if I don't get things together, then I might be in that. I might be 6 feet underground, and that's not a place for anyone to be in. We only have a certain time on this earth, so we need to make the most of it. So guys, I'm getting close to my destination in terms of my driving and my destination altogether. The book will be released in the near future. So guys, keep a lookout for my posts. I'm going to be posting some pictures. Hopefully you guys can give me some feedback on which book cover you like better. And be sure to either share the video, like the video, comment below if you have any comments, message me if you have any thoughts or your concerns, and I will be with you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about chapter 3, and then we'll actually start it really starts getting into how we can actually get from that rock bottom, that bad place, toward where I am today, doing what it is that I hope I'll do with the rest of my life, which is make an impact and make a difference in somebody else's life. So guys, that's all I got for today. Chapter 2, Rhyme or Reason, Dave Matthews Band. And we'll be with you tomorrow for chapter 3. Hope everyone has a great Tuesday. And I'm out.